Hi, and welcome to the online orientation for the Office of Financial Aid, Student Employment, and Scholarships at the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. My name is Brandon Williams. I'm a financial aid counselor, and I welcome you to this online orientation. First off, we want you to know that you can contact us at any time with any questions or concerns that you may have. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use any of the contact information you see here and let us know. You can also find out about us through our social media outlets by looking up UCCS FinAid on either Facebook or Twitter. These are great resources for both students and families and a fantastic way to find out all the latest financial aid information and UCCS information as well. So please go ahead, pull out your smartphone and like us on our Facebook page now. We understand that for some, financial aid can seem a little complex and sometimes even a little confusing. But it doesn't have to be that way. What I want to do now is show you the three most important things you need to know about financial aid. And I guarantee that if you remember and follow through on these things, it'll make your interactions through the financial aid process much easier. First, and in many ways, the most important thing you need to keep in mind are important financial aid dates. Students interested in working while in school have the opportunity to apply for jobs on or off campus and can find work opportunities through SEAN, our Student Employment Assistance Network, found at seans.uccs.edu. Information specifically talking about when jobs posts can be found on our website and on our social media outlets. But what kind of job opportunities are there? Well, if a student has been awarded work study in their financial aid awards, that student can log into SEAN and apply for either work study or hourly positions available at UCCS. Students who have not been awarded work study can still take advantage of employment opportunities by logging in and applying for hourly positions that are available. Students may also wish to expand their employment search outside of SEAN by applying for off-campus employment. One thing to keep in mind, however, is that on-campus work study and hourly student employment do not reduce the UCCS bill. So while a student may have received a work study award, that student will need to apply for a work study position and then will earn up to that total work study award continuously throughout the year in the form of bi-weekly paychecks, just like other types of employment. Another date to keep in mind is the first financial aid disbursement date, which always begins approximately 10 days before the start of each semester. But you may be asking yourself, what is disbursement? Well, let's just say a student has accepted financial aid awards in their student portal. Of course, college costs money, and so that student has a bill that's been generated for the semester. Disbursement is the day that the accepted financial aid is applied to the bill, paying down or paying off that bill. After the first disbursement day, we continue to disperse accepted and ready financial aid approximately 4 days a week throughout the rest of the semester. Now, sometimes there's financial aid remaining after the bill has been completely paid. In this case, excess financial aid is then turned into a refund and given directly to the student. We recommend that students sign up for direct deposit in order to receive their refunds faster, which are directly deposited right into a bank account that they set up. If direct deposit isn't set up, students will receive these funds in the form of a check that is made out to the student and then mailed to their mailing address. Another important date to remember is the semester census date. This is the day that the semester bill is due in full unless a student has signed up for an automatic deduction plan with the Student Financial Services Office. Students who have not paid their bill in full by this date will have a one-time late fee and monthly service charges added to their bill until the bill is paid in full. These students will also not be able to make changes to their school schedules, including registering for new courses, so it's very important to make sure the bill is paid for by the census date. Also, it is the last day for students to drop individual courses and still receive a refund for those courses. So if a student is on the fence about a class, perhaps thinking of dropping it or taking it in another semester, it's important for the student to drop that course by the census date in order to receive a full refund on that class. Individual courses dropped after the census date are not refunded. Some of the most important dates you can remember are dates that occur on the same day every single year. you'll want to take special note of these dates. The FAFSA is available every year starting on October 1st at www.fafsa.gov. On or after October 1st, students and families will complete the FAFSA to be considered for financial aid for the following academic year. It is important to remember that the FAFSA must be renewed each year in order to be eligible for financial aid. The UCCS scholarship application is available in the My UCCS portal each year starting on December 1st. The scholarship application is found by clicking the Financial Aid tab, then clicking on Apply for UCCS Scholarships. After answering a few quick questions, the scholarship application will present students with all the UCCS scholarships that they are eligible to apply for the upcoming academic year, and will give them information needed to apply. Again, this process begins on December 1st of each year. And now for one of the most important dates that you need to remember. The UCCS priority filing date and the UCCS scholarship application deadline is on March 1st. This is an incredibly important date for a couple reasons. First, most UCCS scholarships have March 1st or earlier deadlines, so it's very important to apply during that window. Also, in order to be initially considered for maximum financial aid opportunity, meaning to be initially considered for additional funds like many grants and work study awards, students need to complete the FAFSA as soon as possible and definitely before March 1st. Students who turn in their FAFSA after this deadline are not initially considered for these additional funds and could be losing out on thousands of dollars in free grant funds. So don't let this date pass you by. Complete the FAFSA and apply for scholarships as early as possible, and complete these things for sure prior to March 1st. And remember, that is every single year. Now, sometimes financial aid opportunities are missed simply because a misunderstanding on how the financial aid process works. So the second thing I want you to understand is the basic process of financial aid. So let's say a student asks me how to get financial aid. The first thing I'm going to tell them is that they've got to complete the FAFSA and the UCCS scholarship application, and they need to complete this by absolutely no later than March 1st. Now, after the FAFSA is completed, this information is sent to the school to begin processing and then to award aid. It's important to note that while the FAFSA allows you to be considered for financial aid, it's our office which processes this information and then awards the financial aid, not the FAFSA. Sometimes there's additional information that we need in order to make sure that students get the most financial aid they're eligible for. When additional information is needed, we contact that student via email, regular mail, and also put a notification in the portal to-do list letting that student know that there's additional information that's needed. So step 2 is to pay attention to and review the to-do list, and if we're asking for any information, to get this information submitted to us as quickly as possible. After all the to-do list items are completed and processed, students are notified that they are awarded and directed to the portal to accept, reduce, or decline their financial aid awards. Please note that we will always offer maximum financial aid eligibility, but that these offers do not reflect the bill or an expectation that you accept all the awards offered. That choice is completely up to you. After financial aid awards are accepted, we move on to disbursement, which I stated earlier will always begin approximately 10 days prior to the start of the semester. If all the prior steps are completed in a timely manner, this will allow students to receive their financial aid refunds prior to the start of the semester in order to purchase books and other education-related expenses that they may have. There are a few important things about the process that you want to keep in mind. Sometimes students and families experience special circumstances where the circumstances of their lives are no longer represented by the initial information provided on the FAFSA. For instance, the loss of a job. If you have a special circumstance, such as any of the ones listed here, please contact our office and ask about the special circumstances appeal process, which will allow us to re-examine your financial aid information and possibly adjust your financial aid accordingly. Also keep in mind that while financial aid can pay for tuition, fees, and on-campus housing charges by default, it cannot pay other additional charges without a student's permission to do so. These other charges include things like paw prints, library fines, short-term loans, and other charges. Students can give us permission to pay all charges billed by clicking on Grant Title IV Permission in the Student Financials tab of the Student Portal and following the instructions provided. Also, it's important to note that we will not be able to speak to anyone but the student about their financial aid or billing information unless that student has given us permission to do so via the FERPA, which stands for the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. Students can give instant access to this information to anyone that they wish by clicking the FERPA link found in the Records and Registration tab of the My UCCS portal. Without this permission, we will only be able to give general and non-specific information to people contacting us about a student. And yes, that does include parents, spouses, or even people who are paying the bill. The last thing you need to know about financial aid are some of the resources that are available to you that can help save you time and frustration. The first of these resources is the financial aid website. Everything you could possibly want to know about financial aid can be found easily by visiting our website at www.uccs.edu/finaid. This resource can be very helpful, especially at the beginning of each semester, when we experience longer than usual wait times in our office, on the phones, and email. You may have general questions such as wanting to know particular dates or the difference between different types of loans offered, and may be able to save yourself some time by first visiting our website and finding the answers there. Of course, if you still have questions or concerns, please feel free to contact us. The My UCCS portal is a very important tool that all students will want to be familiar with. This is what it looks like in the top left-hand corner once you sign into the portal. You'll find all the financial aid links and resources here in the financial aid tab, and down here you'll see the to-do list I mentioned earlier. Please make special note of this to-do list, and if there's any alerts, such as the big red number 1 seen here, you'll want to take note of that and make sure that it's addressed as soon as possible. Remember, financial aid opportunities can be lost by not quickly addressing financial aid to-do items promptly. Finally, let us help you. All of us in the financial aid office understand that you may have questions and concerns and want to do our best to help you navigate this process. So please, don't let uncertainty, embarrassment, or frustrations keep you from contacting us and letting us help you out. In fact, we offer several things that you might find helpful. One of those things is College Goals Sunday, which is offered each year in order to help students and families complete the FAFSA. This event is held at UCCS typically in November and allows people to sit one-on-one with a financial aid expert and complete the FAFSA completely free. If you're interested in this event, please feel free to contact our office and ask about it. We will heavily advertise this event on our website, newsletter, and social media networks. If you're not able to attend College Goal Sunday, we offer the exact same service in another event we call FAFSA Fest, which is offered every Friday in February. You can also contact us to be assisted with financial aid matters at any time, so please feel free to call us, email us, or just stop by for a visit. We're located on the top floor of Cragmore Hall and we're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. You can come in at any time and speak directly with a financial aid expert. No appointment necessary. We accept walk-ins. So please feel free to stop in at any time. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you found this information helpful. We look forward to assisting you with any financial aid needs you may have. Welcome to UCCS.